The Thulek stepped back at 3 minutes 20 seconds. I had administered Class 6 certification sequences for 6 years at Varathkal Station. I had never seen a Thulek step back. They do not retreat. They do not reassess. Their lateral line organs read the micromuscular signals of any opponent 0.3 of a second before the body commits to movement, and they do not hesitate because hesitation is not a category their biology recognizes. The Thulek circled her at 2 meters. It did not close. My hands were shaking on the console. I ran the close-out sequence anyway. That is the kind of thing I do. I pressed the certification confirmation field and the system accepted it. Cadet Saren Dahl, Class 6 Combat Certification, complete. First completion in Varathkal's operational history without a medevac request. She walked out of the ring wearing all of it, the wrapped hand. The dried split above her brow, 9 opponents' marks still on her when she reached the north corridor. She was rolling a small hexagonal coin across her knuckles before she passed the threshold. She did not look at the gallery. This is what happens when the machine built to read every species meets one it cannot find. The ring sequence started at 0600, same as every Class 6 morning. I ran the checklist. Atmosphere locked at 1.3 G medical on standby at the south corridor. Impact gel at standard depth. Scanner array warmed and green across all panels. I counted 34 observers in the upper tier and a dozen more at the lower rail. For a single cadet certification run, that is not standard. I spotted a Grothkai senior cadet near the south rail collecting credit chip transfers from 4 others. I knew the pattern. They had set the over-under on which bout she would request medevac. The consensus was bout 3. I did not stop them. Betting in the gallery is not my jurisdiction. I noted it and moved on. 41 cadets had attempted Class 6 this cycle. 11 had been medically evacuated mid-sequence. 3 did not return to active enrollment. The impact gel gets replaced twice per certification cycle. This is designed into the doctrine. A Class 6 certification without attrition is a certification that has not tested anything real. This is not cruelty. It is the framework. The Senvari's standard form produces a medevac request inside 90 seconds against most opponents. The documentation on this is consistent across 14 academies. The Grothkai subdermal lattice generates impact forces that exceed human skeletal tolerance at standard gravity, let alone 1.3 G. This is not a contest of skill. It is a contest of construction. The Thulek does not react to what you do. It reacts to what you are about to do. No cadet in this platform's operational history has kept a bout past 2 minutes 40 seconds. Cadet Saren Dahl entered from the north corridor at 062. 158 centimeters, 51 kilograms. The pre-certification scanner output her profile as the least protected organism scheduled for the ring that cycle. Standard compression suit, no visible augmentation. She was rolling a small hexagonal coin across her knuckles with her right hand back and forth, unhurried. She was not looking at the ring. She was not looking at the gallery. She was looking at the coin. I nearly flagged it as a distraction risk. I looked at her. I looked at the coin. I decided it posed no combat hazard and logged it non-hazardous. I would think about that decision later. I called her name, confirmed identifiers, opened bout 1. The Senvari opened its standard 4-limb rotating strike form, 2 limbs high, 2 low, cycling continuously. No lower limb combat use. I have seen this form end 14 bouts in the current cycle. The strikes come from vectors that do not allow simultaneous defense. Dahl did not block. She moved into each sequence. Shoulder forward, hip turning, weight redirecting through her own frame in a pattern I had not seen in 6 years of ring administration. Every strike landed. The scanner confirmed impact. She did not go down. She did not request pause. She did not step out of bounds. The bout clock expired at 4 minutes. The gallery was very quiet. My skin had shifted to amber. I was aware of it. I could not stop it. Vecthari chromatophoric response is involuntary. It is visible at 10 meters. The gallery could read it in real time, and I knew they could, and I did not try to hide it. Between bouts, she sat on the ring floor and rolled the coin across her knuckles with her right hand. Slow, unhurried. I adjusted the bout 2 opponent upward. I watched her. I did not speak to her. She did not look up. Bout 3, the Grothkai. The bout the gallery had set as terminal. It entered the ring larger than the scanner preview suggested. The subdermal lattice was active. I could see the faint pattern under the skin, the impact distribution web that turns any contact into force transfer across the whole frame. The Grothkai do not strike. They generate collisions and let physics finish. The impact gel took several hard contacts. The scanner confirmed forces exceeding human skeletal tolerance at 1.3 G. She absorbed them the same way she had absorbed the Senvari, not resisting, not countering, redirecting through her own frame in that pattern I still could not name. A Grothkai throw. She landed hard on her left side. The impact gel absorbed it badly. She lay still for 1 second, 2. Then she said it, quietly, to no one. "That's going to bruise." Not a complaint, not performance. The way you note that it is going to rain. She got up. The bout continued. After bout 3, I heard the credit chip transfers in the gallery stop. No new bets were placed. The Grothkai senior cadet held the chip stack for a moment and then put it in his pocket. That was the last bet placed that morning. Between bout 3 and bout 4, she tore a strip from her own compression sleeve and wrapped her left hand. She had not asked for medical. She had not spoken since the Grothkai bout. She rolled the coin with her left hand now. Slow. The rim was worn smooth. The minted denomination was no longer legible. I did not ask where she got it. Bout 5, the Dracosi. Every combat training manual across the consortium states that endurance is categorically the wrong strategy against Dracosi physiology. Their adrenal surge cascade activates under sustained combat. The longer the bout runs, the more dangerous the opponent becomes. The window exists in the first 90 seconds. After that, the manuals say, you are not fighting a Dracosi. You are surviving a biochemical event that happens to have a shape. She endured 4 minutes. At 3 minutes 20 seconds, the scanner flagged her pain tolerance reading. Instrument error. No matching biological profile ON record. I reached for the calibration override. My hand was on the console. I stopped. I looked at her in the ring, wrapped hand raised. Brow bleeding a slow thread, the coin pocketed, standing. The Dracosi was still moving. She was still standing. The scanner was still showing error. I set my hand down. I did not recalibrate the scanner. I have thought about that decision every day since. The 2 Vekthari administrative staff in the upper tier stopped speaking to each other. Their skin read the same amber as mine. They were not supposed to be here. They had no stated reason to be at a single cadet certification run. They did not look at each other. They looked at the ring. There were 12 bouts I would have called complete before this. None of them had done this to my skin. Bout 6, 7, 8. She continued. Marks accumulated on the scanner, contusions mapped in real time. She did not request medevac. She did not pause. Between bouts, she sat on the ring floor and rolled the coin. Right hand while waiting, left hand while recovering. It disappeared into her compression suit pocket at the start of each bout and reappeared the moment the bout clock expired. I noted that my skin color was visible from the gallery. I was a Vekthari ring administrator displaying involuntary stress-del in real time in front of witnesses, and I could not suppress it, and I no longer tried. Bout 9, the Thulik. It entered the ring and circled her. I started the bout clock, 47 seconds. It did not engage. I have administered Class 6 sequences for 6 years. I have never seen a Thulik hesitate. Their lateral line organs run bilateral from crown to hip. They detect micromuscular pre-movement signals 300 to 600 milliseconds before conscious movement executes. They cannot be fooled by misdirection. They read the body before the mind decides. 47 seconds, then it moved. Full commitment sequence, the kind that ends bouts in under 2 minutes. She absorbed it the same way she had absorbed everything, not resisting, not countering, redirecting through her own frame in that pattern. The scanner tracked her micromuscular output. I read the result. Not a suppressed signal, not a trained response pattern, nothing. The scanner showed an empty room where biological intent was supposed to be. The Thulik's lateral line organs registered her correctly. There was no malfunction, no gap in coverage. They had simply found nothing to predict. She had reduced herself as far as the instrument could tell to pure presence. No plan, no intent, nothing for the organs to read. At 3 minutes 20 seconds, the Thulik stepped back. This is the thing that cannot happen. The Thulik does not press. It does not continue. Because there is nothing there for it to respond to in advance, it cannot fight someone who is not, in any measurable sense, preparing to do anything. It circled her at 2 meters. It did not close. I watched the bout timer count down. She stood in the center of the ring, wrapped hand at her side. Brow still marked from bout 3. 8 opponents' worth of contusions mapped on the scanner. She was breathing. That was all the scanner could say with certainty. She was present and she was breathing and she was carrying no signal that the most predictive combat physiology in the consortium certification record could find anything in. The bout timer reached 0. The ring went silent in a way that I will spend 11 days failing to describe accurately. It is not the quiet of a dramatic moment. It is the quiet of 46 organisms, cadets, administrators, off-duty instructors, 2 Vecthari staff whose presence was never explained, recalibrating something they had believed was structural. Not a belief anyone had examined. A load-bearing assumption they did not know they were carrying until the weight shifted. I closed the session. My hands were shaking, Vecthari stress response, visible to the entire gallery. But I ran the close-out sequence because it is my job and that is the kind of thing I do. I pressed the certification confirmation field. Cadet SEREN DAL, Class 6 Combat Certification, complete, VERATHKL Station, first completion in platform operational history without medevac request. She walked out of the ring. She was wearing all of it, every contusion. The wrapped hand, the dried split above her brow, 9 opponents' marks all still on her. She was rolling the coin across her knuckles before she reached the north exit corridor. She did not look at the gallery. Not performance of indifference. Simply, the gallery was not where she had been. The ring was where she had been. She was done with the ring. The gallery had never entered into it. I filed the certification report at 0844. All fields complete except one. Reason for subject's non-evacuation request. The form has a notation field. I left it blank. No one asked me to complete it. The platform maintenance chief asked whether to rerun scanner calibration. The pain tolerance error flag was still active in the system. I told him to leave it. I did not explain why. The coin is in the effects locker under certification reference DAL VK CL6001. The only item attached to a completed 9-bout Class 6 run in Verath Cal's operational history. The locker assigns it an evidence tag. Personal effect, non-hazardous, Earth origin. I have looked at the locker tag 3 times in 11 days. I keep thinking that is the most accurate classification in the entire file, and the least useful one. 11 days later, I reviewed the Thulek lateral line sensor data from Bout 9. The organs registered correctly. No malfunction, no gap. They found nothing. I pulled up Dahl's intake file. I read her homeworld. Avon, coastal interior region of Earth, Sol 3, Class M biosphere, standard gravity, no extreme environmental designation. I read it 3 times. I looked at the scanner error flag still active in the system. I looked at the blank field in the report. Somewhere in this network, there is a planet cataloged as unremarkable. I have been unable to move on from that word for 11 days.